Hello, welcome to another tonal landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy. And the painting I'm bringing you today is called Forest Passage, 8 by 14. Hey, you just saw me share the palette there, so if you get a little curious at some point what colors I'm using, I thought I'd leave that in. That's always in there for the members. It is now anyway. I've got things sort of standardized out. Now, first off, I want to apologize because we're going to be in the drawing portion of this painting here, and you're going to see it's not your eyes. It's the camera gradually starts fogging over, and this is because it's winter here in New Zealand right now, so I'm in the opposite sort of spectrum of people up in the northern hemisphere, where it's nice and warm. Anyway, my camera lens, the element on the inside, because of temperature differential. I think once the camera starts running or something, it will fog up a little, but I think I'm working on it. Now, hey, this is something I really want to talk about. These are the what I call intervals. I'm very pleased and happy with this painting, by the way, and that's one reason I left in this whole drawing portion. I think this was really a key bit. Yeah, you see the vision's getting misty. Well, it's okay. I'm working on my usual deep earth color, and I'm using some burnt umber and getting into the intervals. So much like in the melody, you can't have even spaces everywhere, otherwise it's just extremely boring. So you if you've got these vertical, and when you have vertical elements in your landscape, it's going to be the most attention getting thing. Now, in a sense, that could be human beings walking around. We're very sensitive to vertical things in the landscape. Yes, the vision's getting hazy here. I apologize for that. But now I had a couple of yeah, the intervals. Basically, I go into that quite a lot in the live painting session. But suffice to say, you want to make sure that you have a good like you don't have something too evenly spaced, and that would be both the width of, say, the trunks. They can't all be the same, but also the spaces between them. That's definitely. Also, you notice how I like to make some things diagonal and some things straight. Also, you also have access to the reference in the members area, and there's a corresponding blog that's got that palette up and the reference as well. Uh, you see, I kept some of the trees. Some of them I didn't. I just use the reference for inspiration, which gets back to the other thing about I was starting to say. The brief on this painting was that I wanted to use a good sized brush. I wanted to. I've been practicing my light, so we're in a more darkened area, and we have light behind, and the way the foliage interacts over that. I maybe because of my background as a drawer illustrator, I'd had a tendency to kind of design those, which I've been talking about that forever. You have to design things, but the if you make those shapes too defined too soon, what happens is it sort of makes it difficult to get the air into the trees as much. Now, of course, techniques for getting the air into the leaves where they're overlapping the sky, you do a lot of that with color and value as well. But this design aspect is a real thing. So I've been experimenting with a technique where, first of all, in the drawing stage, I leave things quite vague, and then, and again, this is all you would hear it blow by blow in the members area. When I say members area, I mean members area. You know, the place that you give Google $6, and you have access to I don't know, hundreds, thousands, so many live painting sessions. Hey, that looks a lot better. Whoa! See, that's what it really looked like. Now I juiced up that last one using some of my color settings in Filmora to to get it looking at least somewhat recognizable. I apologize for the light hitting that palette as well. I'm trying to remember to have the palette right up against the painting when I lift it up. I have been working very hard on maximizing my photography, more videography of my painting sessions. And it's, a long time ago, I definitely applied myself to taking great pictures of my paintings, but the video is quite different because you can't control every aspect of it, since it's in real time, But I'm working on it, and you're the beneficiary, yeah. So when we're doing this light, so this is really where I'm deciding to absolutely start kind of defining things, but even there you see things are a little vague, and ideally I wouldn't want, so what you don't want is vagueness that's the result of blending or smearing your colors together. You've probably already figured that out. That doesn't look good. It doesn't look pro. That's some Bob Ross stuff there. But even Bob Ross wouldn't do that everywhere. Bob Ross would do that in his background, like he would put in his sky and then smear it all together with a big brush. And, but he would work over that with a knife and things like that so that those had actual edges. So I'm not saying he would do a smeary painting, but an amateur might go over those same edges and start smearing them into the sky, and that's not a good look. It's very easy to do with oil paint. This is something I address in my book, and in the newer book too. I've actually written a new book, but I'm actually on a bit of a hiatus because I jumped into the editing, and it's a lot of work, and in a sense, maybe not as much work as writing it, but it's a lot. And, what's absolutely sucks is when you work very hard on something and then you're reading it on another device and you see that it's missing a word in the middle of a sentence for no reason. Things like that. Anyway, it's moving forward. It's just not going to be automatic. Also, been working on prints, and I will be sharing that image that I'm going to be selling as prints out here. I'm very excited about it. We'll talk some more about this painting and my process in a sec. But right now we're talking about, I know I've been talking about a bunch of stuff you probably already don't mind too much about, but just relax. Get yourself a cup of coffee. This is my book. Took 12, 13 years not to write, but to learn how to do this tonal thing. I won't say I'm the goat, but in fact, yeah, I'm not. But I've worked at it, and I have some insights to share with you if you want to take this approach. And actually, some of the processes that I'm employing with this painting, I'm very proud of myself because the thing is, like, one of the questions people ask me all the time is like, how long did that take you? But they don't really realize that with something like painting, that question is not, it's not exactly meaningless, but it doesn't mean that the paint, because if you spend months on the painting, it doesn't mean the painting is going to be good. More the opposite. My whole goal with this one was to work very quickly and immediately. I'm using brush techniques that I've been just trying to improve, and a lot of it's tied into pressure, a lot of it's tied into brush size, but the overall thing is that I want to leave things alone. I want to come in. Yeah, you can see the way I'm holding that brush, and I'm using, I should say, the people in the members area, I get questions, why do you love the Treacle so much? And it's not the first filberts I was using. I was using these DOS brushes. They were quite cheap, and mostly for skies, and they were filberts, but they didn't have as defined, like the Treacle has a little toe, a nice neat little toe, and then a nice little, like, almost beveled area, and the bristle quality is of course better than the DOS, so things hold together a little better. But that's what you see me leaning on there, is there's a beveled edge on that filbert brush that's doing the bulk of the work. Now, the other goal on this was to bring in the darks, which you just saw me do, but I don't want to go too dark and too contrasty with it. I want there to be a softer transition, and I think sometimes basically, everything ties in everything else. Like doing the photography and having it get over contrast, or the blacks get real compressed, um, has got me not wanting as much strong contrast in the paintings. So there's one I just did yesterday, which I won't talk about because we're talking about this painting. But that was an extension of the same process. So now the real challenge with this kind of scene is you're obviously going to end up with things defined. The sky is going to be, there's a lot of natural contrast between a bright sky and a darker forest interior. And you go through the channel, you're going to see painting after painting of this, and I've succeeded in a lot of different ways. But you can always succeed better. That's the thing. And well, the masters made that clear, didn't they? And most of us have some awareness of them, and we just try not to think about it and do our own work. And that's probably a good thing to talk about at the last portion of this video. Comparing yourself to others thing, especially now we've got the AI that produces amazing imagery, and you can say what you want about it, but prior to this era, I mean, I'm an older human being. The only things making art were people, and some of the art being made was amazing. You would just jaw-dropping when we see the work of the masters. We just go, how could I ever hope to do anything like that? But you knew it was a human. You knew it was something like you doing the art. That's all gone now. But we're still here, and we're still making art. And you know what? Don't worry about what the AI is doing, because before the AI was better than you, there were plenty of humans around better than you. And I'm speaking for myself too. Lots of people better than me. I don't worry about it, because at the end of the day, only you can do the painting you're going to do. So when you're approaching your work, you should be looking for ways to better express yourself and what you think is cool. And the way to do that, if you didn't know what I was going to say next, is to paint more. Watch less videos, except you want to make sure you tune in to Uncle Mike every week and get the best tips out there, the real deal on the real painter who loves painting and is here for you every week. Yeah. But after that, in fact, I think the best thing to do is, like, if you look at something I've done and you go, wow, that's pretty cool, I want to do something, then do it. And don't compare what you do to me or to any other artist. Just do it. Don't make it a huge thing either. Don't paint this 2 foot by 3 foot painting that you've been working on for the last 10 years. Oh, that's what I'm going to do today. No, man, forget that painting. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do 2 foot by 4 foot paintings, but you should only be doing 2 foot by 4 foot paintings if you've got great mastery of a bunch of more handleable sizes to work. That's just the fact of the matter. That should be something that you build up to. There's a guy out here in New Zealand. He's an amazing painter. I want to say Tisher is his name. I don't watch everything on his channel, but he's amazing. Wow, so good. And he does paintings that are wall size that are amazing. Yeah, good. He should be, I'm not that interested in big work, although I will say this thing I'm going to be issuing as a print is, for me, a larger painting. It's about, that's not even big. It's 14 by 20. That's nothing, It sure isn't wall size, but for me it's big. I like smaller paintings because I love to get in and get out, as I did in this painting. So this little painting session didn't take that long, and it looks, I think, great. It has a freshness to it. Everything's there that needs to be there. If you look at it closely, you'll see there's quite a lot of the drawings still in there. What I'm doing right now, by the way, is a little bit of subtle blending, and so what I'm doing is I've wiped off the brush thoroughly, but it still has a affinity with paint, okay? It's not a completely dry brush. And the reason you see the brush go down all the time is because I constantly have to wipe it off. So I'm just taking some little peaks off of what I've done. but trying to maintain a lot of respect for that initial impetus, the emotional and intellectual reaction to the reference to make my painting. And that's what we did today. We made a painting. So thanks for getting to this part of the video. Oh, give me the likes. And I love comments too. If you enjoyed this, just say thumbs up, Mike. Anyway, until they come back, take good care. Stay out of trouble. God bless you and your family. And fight the power.